Okay, so today I'm going to be playing City of Brass, which is a brand new small game that was developed by Uppercut Studios and was brought to us on May the 4th on both Windows and then consoles. And to be more precise, I think it was only developed for PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, but I think that it was also made for PS4 and Xbox One. I'm not quite sure, but you need to check that out. It's an amazing game, you know. In short lines, I'm just gonna cover it in like these short little lines because I just want to get into the game to show you how great it is. And as you can see, I'm running it at 1080p full screen, 110 field of view, and everything is almost high or ultra, which shows you that the game is like the optimization of the game is quite decent. So I'm gonna show you the starting loadout when you want to play the new game. So you have your sword, you have the whip, and you have the regular armor, and then you have burdens and blessings, which help increase or decrease the enemy. The difficulty of the game. So you can either use some blessings and burdens to make game easier, or you can use those to make game harder, depending on the challenge that you're after, as the game says. So right now I'm only using the leisurely blessing, I think it's called like that, which removes the time limit, which kind of limits you on how much time you've got before the timer runs out and before you fail the objective, which is to find the exit. Now, the main objective or the goal of this game is to complete these randomly generated or procedurally generated levels, which are like dungeon crawler levels. You're basically exploring those rooms, collecting these treasures, which will give you bonus score at the end of the level, and which you can also use to buy some pretty decent stuff like swords, some skills, and some shields and whatnot, or maybe new whips, which will help you eventually pass the game. Now, this game is divided into levels, as I said, and each level requires you to find the exit. Now, that really depends on if you gotta kill the gatekeeper or if you just gotta find the exit. So as you can see, this game also features traps, which again will act sort of like a little, let's say, oh my god, I just got into that fire. So those traps will either be friendly towards you or maybe not, depending on if you pay attention where they are, because then you can use them to your advantage to kill those enemies, which is, at the beginning, like, you might not use those traps because you won't find any reason to use them, but later on you'll see how enemies get harder, and then they just get pain in the ass. And at the beginning everything is super easy, but later on the game gets harder. And I've been playing this game for like half an hour, and from what I've seen, I can tell that this game is like, the optimization is really good, and the difficulty of the game really depends on the player and what you do in the game. So right now you see that you have the Abyssal, the Trafficker, which this ghost is blue, and he kind of helps you get like some skills and some perk points and stuff like that. And then you have the Orange Ghost, which you'll see later on, which acts like a demon, and he's against you. He wants to kill you, and he's gonna probably shoot like explosive bolts at you and stuff like that. So right now I've switched to Wish and Strip of Ignition. That's what we want, which will basically give a flame effect to our whip. So every time you whip a guy, it'll have that flame, a flame thing to it. So like, these are the traps that I was talking about. And you can also push enemies into traps. I mean, that guy pretty much killed himself. They're quite dumb. But anywho. Okay. Yeah. So, anywho. Let me just show you what I mean. So, you can push enemies like this. You can also use whip to bring them closer to you. You can also whip them so they fall, so they lose their weapons, or that they get stunned if you whip them in the face. But like, generally the whip is used to like get some enemies stunned and stuff like that, which later on will prove to be very useful. It might not be so useful at the beginning because you can pretty much one-shot everything with the beginning sword, but later on you'll use different maces, different swords, different whips, and stuff like that. Also, as I said, like, you'll need that coin. You'll need those coins to pretty much level up and get better equipment and stuff, which again is very important, because this game can prove to be hard if you're not like paying attention to those traps and to the enemies and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, the game is pretty decent. I mean, it's brand new, it's cool, and I'm just gonna use one of those traps. Okay, so I'm gonna lure this guy into a trap like this. Let's push him in the trap. Yeah, so that is what I was talking about. You can always lure guys into traps and whatnot. You can also evade attacks by double pressing S, A, or D, depending on if you want to go behind, to the right, to the left. Okay. Yeah, so I just kind of evaded him right there. So I'm gonna push him. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. You can always push your enemies. You can always use these traps. You can use all these maneuvers and whatnot to evade them, to get better at this game. And eventually, you know, once you master out the movement and whatnot, you'll become like a semi-god in this arena, or this little dungeon crawler. So you can also use this slide ability, which is, well, it's decent. I mean, I can just not whip the sword out of his hand if I can. Oh, there he goes, his fez. So it's pretty cool how you have these fezzes and whatnot. I mean, you know, they're pretty cool. Like, they really bring that Middle East feel to it. Also, you can probably hear like mosque. Okay, I'm just gonna put that a bit up. So you can probably hear mosque priest calling for a prayer in this game, and that really adds to the detail that you're in. Oh my god, that you're like somewhere in the actual Middle East. Fuck. Okay. So I'm down to 2 hearts, and that was what I was talking about. Like, this game can actually get super damn hard in a split second, you know. And if you're not paying attention to your sword and to your attacks and to those enemies and whatnot, you can get killed easily. And each level brings new enemies, new traps, and it gets procedurally harder as you play the game. Now, bear in mind that we need to find this ghost, this blue ghost again, who really heavily reminds me of Aladdin and like the ghost from the like the little cup that he found. And it's like Indiana Jones, as I said. This game is like Indiana Jones, and it's pretty cool. Oh shit! Yeah, I thought that was a trap. Okay. So I'll rip this on. I don't know what this is about. Like, this acts like a little ghost. Okay. Oh, they're gonna watch this chicken. Okay, he just lost his weapon, which is... Okay. Now I'm trying to find that ghost, because I want to get, like, the health, my health back. Okay. And I have a lot of coins, that I can't really spend. Please let it be health. Oh, my eyes. Okay. That's pretty cool. Wish. Ah, I can't wish. Now this whip basically freezes enemies, which is, as you can see, pretty accurate. Okay. And yeah, I mean, like, the game isn't that hard at the beginning, but like, if you aren't paying attention to your surroundings, you get overwhelmed in a second. Okay. You think that I had that little pot there, which I've used to kill that guy. And you can also follow that arrow that says where you have to go. In this game, when it comes to the movement, it's in between, as a lot of people say, in between Doom and then games like that, because it's really fast. It's fast paced, and oh my god, I found my heart. Give me health. Okay, I need one more heart in order to get my full health back. Doesn't kill him. So, yeah, once you master like the movement and whatnot, you can easily. Oh, shit. And that's gonna kill him. So, as I said, once you've mastered the movement, you'll kinda be prepared for everything, almost. Insurance. What's this? The sages say you cannot take your riches to the next world. They will at least in part disagrees for a wish. Oh, that's pretty cool. You can actually transfer all of the money into a second level, I think. So that did he say? Okay. So it's like whip him good game, you know? The more you whip, the better you are. And the more precise your whips are, the better you are again. So this is pretty cool against those, oh god, enemies that are... I can wish. So yeah, once you hit this demon, you'll pretty much despawn. How about this? So this is a bit of a slower sword, but it's kind of like better because I think that it does more damage. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I've used a sword that pretty much does a ton of damage. Okay, that's not true. But I'm not quite sure if it was that good, because it does deal massive amount of damage. But it's so super slow, and this sword seems to be pretty good because it's dealing a mediocre damage. So, yeah, it's basically clearing out room after room of enemies and gathering as much as you can of these resources before you move to the next room. And yeah, I mean, it is very, very good. You can't say that it's time consuming because it's not. But yeah. Sense of time, hills of raising. All of this has a bigger jump or higher jump, if I can say it that way. So as a matter of fact, we did explore these rooms, and right now we're just going like we're just kind of going in circles because I didn't follow the arrow, and arrow politely suggests that we move upwards a bit like this. So yeah, if you want to move towards the exit, you'll probably want to follow this arrow. And right now I think it, oh my god, I thought that it would refresh, you know, but it doesn't refresh, which is pretty good. Again, so we're gonna go, shit, okay, into this room right here, which has this trap. Very convenient way. Oh my god, he actually hit me. So at the end I kind of lost half of the heart, which is no good, because archers deal more damage, while those, you'll see that in the tortured dwellings, there are enemies that summon kind of like more enemies, and then that summon like these bombs which explode and whatnot, and then you have the shield guys, you have all of those different enemies, and it's, you know, it really requires you to have more health, and that's the reason why I usually go with like plenty of health divine, which will kind of give you more health, but like this way I think that the experience is standard and more hardcore. And I just want to, you know, kind of have that limit on the video, because I don't want my video to be like, you know, like 60 gigs big, you know, and stuff. So that's the reason why I'm going to pretty much use this. So, okay. Fuck off. Yeah, I've explored this as well. So you can bank items, which is, oh, there she is. That little bitch. So you can see that those brand new enemies deal more damage. They even deal damage when you hit them, which is kind of weird, but I mean, it's not weird. It's just like a cheap way of killing you and kind of having to end your game prematurely, which. Okay. Oh, what a bitch. Okay, so basically you wanna hit her for like 2 times before she goes down. Oh, this was actually one hit. Give me health. That'll do it. Disable traps. There are plenty of traps which I just want to disable because uh-oh! That was bad. So it seems out that you want to kill this guy. If you want to pass the level, you're going to have to kill him. I'm just gonna cheap way of really not doing some stuff in the game, like actually forcing you to play more. He's down. Okay, so as you can see, once you've mastered most of the movement, you'll pretty much move seamlessly from room to room. Let's go like this. Oh yeah, I already have that. Gotcha, man. Okay, so I need to go to eat. And this is very cheap. I usually die here because it's so cheap. Okay, so yeah, that pretty much does it for this little game. It's pretty cool, and if you want to buy it, you can always buy it for $19.99. I'm signing out. Peace.